Welcome everybody to my updated solo Bandos 6-0 Bofa guide. Now, while my previous guide on this method was quite successful, I feel like I could have done a better job at explaining a few things, and I'm much more experienced at this method now. So I'm going to re-release this video just like I'm doing all my boss guides again, with hopefully a little bit more information on how to actually get into the rhythm of this boss. If you're going to stream this content, there will be people wondering why you don't do other methods. I find personally this one to be the easiest. It's the most straightforward, it's very simple, and you can do it with a crossbow or a bofa, and it's the most forgiving if you want to consume resources and heal. So I do this method because I'm really good at it, and I don't really need to think while doing it. So I'm going to show you my method. Personally, I think it's the easiest way to go about it. Going in, I've got full crystal. If you have a Slayer task, obviously take the Slayer helmet, but full crystal bofa. This also works with a crossbow as well. Which if you're going to have a crossbow, bring diamond bolts enchanted, whether it's adamant or dragon diamond bolts, whatever your crossbow can fire. I've got my Bandos item and my Zami item and an ancient item for next banking if I want to do the next bank. I would also recommend a Fury and Suffering if you want a bit more tank. But when you get better at it, you can start bringing a bit more damage and prayer bonus instead. Then, of course, Mole Slippers are best in slot. Over in the inventory, we've got a 4-way major switch. Obviously, there's my backpack when we start going. My blood runes, a couple of bones to Peaches tablets, and fill the rest of your inventory with shit. Balance out the stamina and prayer pots depending on how you find yourself going. You'll make adjustments every trip. Before we go in, I'll quickly explain how the room works. These tile markers will be in the description down below. Just ignore the bots in here killing Bandos for now. Along the bottom and the top of the room is where you'll be doing your damage. Running from the top to the bottom or from the bottom to the top. You don't want to be attacking at all because it will ruin your red X cycle, which are used on both bottom tiles. You can, however, if you need to eat hard food, do that while running top to bottom or bottom to top, because the gap between these tiles is the perfect amount of time between being able to eat after attacking and being able to attack again on tick. You don't want to eat hard food between the top and bottom rows. You can drink potions though, so brews are pretty handy there. Staminas, prayer restores, bastions, whatever you need. For the majority of the room, you'll be praying range and rigor with the hard R. If you know you're going to get attacked or you're not sure, throw on the melee prayer so you don't get donked by Bandos. General rule of thumb is if Bandos attacks you on this side when you're running up to the top of the room, he's going to attack you when you leave this corner on your way back round. So pray melee in the bottom right corner. That's most of the basics out of the way. I'm going to go in now and get a couple of kills and show you how it's done. Best of luck to those involved. We're going to eat this anglerfish. We're going to just pot up with everything we need. I might even put the backpack on as well. We're actually going to play melee going in, rigor with the hard R, and preserve. I like to use private instance if you can. If you can't do a private instance or you're not an Iron Man, make sure Bandos is in like the back left of the room. Once you enter, immediately run to this tile, attack Bandos, and run. And he's going to melee you, might range attack you, who knows. Throw on your range spray, attack him here, and then keep moving. And you're now, I'm not actually in cycle, I just noticed I did it too early. I'm going to pray melee here. Yep, okay, so if you're unsure, just pray melee on those runs. Keep running along here, and because he attacked me on the left side, we get to this corner, we can run down again. So he's going to attack me here, just watch out for this. Attack and run instantly. Put on the melee prayer, and now he's in cycle. You see how he kind of slides next to the door? I love how we've lagged a little bit there and AFK'd on the floor, that's fine. He kind of slides towards the door. I got hit because I lagged, so we're going to reset that, and we're going to go again. That's unfortunate. Attack him here, run down to the south, and don't panic if you lose health. It's totally fine. We're going to pray melee, and of course he ranges me, so I'm going to drink a sour brew, and we're going to keep running. So sometimes, especially me, it's just my bullshit bush internet. Sometimes I have no choice but to miss ticks in this game, so I have to just make do with what I can. But essentially, don't panic. If you get hit, just be prepared to pray melee. I know that he's in now. I'm going to keep running around, and we're totally fine. See how he kind of slides towards the door? That means that he's in. You don't want to stand still for a second, and you want to make sure you get 2 attacks off, or 3 attacks off, sorry, on each side. Now, you can attack, most people mark a tile on the top and bottom road. That's mostly for crossbows. If you've got a bow, you can attack whenever, but the sooner you attack, so the later you attack, the better. You have a lot faster. So you have a much faster weapon. Make sure I line up the minions. So that was a bit of a rough start, obviously. I took a little bit of damage, but you can see what I did there. If I waited an extra tick in the corner at the very start, I actually would have been fine. But because I didn't set him, I just prayed melee. So if you're unsure whether you're set or not while doing Bandos, don't be afraid to pray melee when it's his time to attack, which should only be on the left and right side bottom corners after you move from them. So that's a general rule of thumb. How am I missing these flicks? Come on. So that's the general idea. While leaving this bottom right corner or leaving the bottom left corner, there is a risk of being meleeed. If you're unsure, just flick your melee prayer on for him. I don't mind taking a bit of damage anyway because it does clear up a bit of inventory space. Bones to Peaches if you need some food. Start at this tile here or here. It doesn't actually matter where you start. It doesn't, like, you can play one tile away from the wall the whole time. It'll still red X him. So you do have a little bit of wiggle room. Now, what you're going to notice here, we're going to play protect range, rigor the hard R. What you want to do is wait 1 second. As soon as he looks at you, run down. Don't attack him. Just run down as soon as he turns to you. Attack and run. Notice how I didn't even make it to the corner. That's fine. He's still set. Because that's just the way the red X works. So it doesn't actually matter if you miss a tile. Don't shit your pants. I'm kind of glad that happened, so I can give you the example there. Just keep running, and you should totally be fine and in sync. If you miss a tile, it's totally fine. One tile back, I believe, is fine. As long as you time it right, you attack and run instantly. You're not going to get attacked. He's going to slide into the door, and you just keep moving. Taking a lot of damage this time around. It kind of sucks here. Back-to-back 14s. This major is absolutely shredding me. This is not cool, man. It is, you could bring like a blowpipe to heal off the minions too, but normally the blood magic, especially with the Ancient Scepter now, is really reliable in this instance to be able to get all your health back between kills, or the majority of it at least, as well as Bones to Peaches, of course. But this is the main concept of the room. Just run around in circles, do a little bit of damage, and he dies. I'll show you one more kill after this as well, just to confirm everything I need to. We've got range, mage, melee, easy. It's a good way to practice your flicking as well. If you're looking at practicing prey flicking under pressure for things like the Inferno, excellent way to start this. So that's basically how the room works. I don't think there's too much more I need to cover here. This method is very simple. Start here. As soon as he looks at you, run down, attack in the corner. Like I said earlier, normally people mark like an extra tile here and here, but those tiles don't actually matter. You can attack after them, especially if you have a bow. Those tiles are mostly for like with the crossbow around the halfway mark. I'm sorry I don't have those tiles marked. I'm not sure if those were the exact tiles. But it's a lot of trial and error. You're going to die doing this method while you're learning. But once you get it down, you're going to be fucking sweet. It's just a matter of getting that first kill out of the way in case you mess up the corner tile. And then you're pretty much just kicking goals all the way through. We're going to pray now. Looks at me, runs south. Hit him with the... That's pretty much the guide there, guys. Typically, we don't get shit from bandos. Never lucky. But I hope that it was... just shedding a bit more light on the previous guide. It gives you guys a bit more clarity on how to do this boss. And if you found it useful, don't be afraid to hit the like button down below. And subscribe, because I stream... Oh, hold on. Oops. I stream on this channel right here 5 days a week. Always live, doing content like this. If you want to learn more and come check it out in the flesh. Learn a few things, ask any questions while I'm live. I'm more than happy to answer them. Thank you for watching. My name is King Condor. And I approve this message. Now fuck off. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge.